What is up, guys? Rick Cacus here, and today we are going to be showcasing the best vendor weapons available from the week of March 28th to April 4th, the first week of the Age of Triumph. Now, with the Age of Triumph, vendors are now going to have weekly resets on their perks. So every week we're going to go in and highlight the best weapons for sale that you should definitely take a look at. Now, sorry I'm a little late with this week, well, quite a bit late, but with the launch of the Age of Triumph and the reveal of Destiny 2, it was pretty hectic. So future videos in this series are going to be much closer to the actual Tuesday reset. But this week, there's still definitely some weapons to take a look at, including some actual god rolls. So let's start out with the two universal vendors. Firstly, with the Crucible Quartermaster. But guys, before we take a look at these rolls, if you enjoy this content and want to see more, please remember to support the video by liking, commenting, and especially sharing. It's a simple thing to do, but it really does help me out, and I very much appreciate those of you who do it. Now, there is really only one weapon of note for sale here, and that is this week's Palindrome, but it is very powerful. We have two good sights, Sure Shot and True Shot. Then we have two good perks following that up. Outlaw, drastically increasing your reload if you get a precision kill. And then Icarus, increasing your in-air accuracy. Pretty good with hand cannons actually. And then we have the main perk you're looking for, Rifled Barrel, on pretty much every hand cannon. Rifled Barrel is going to drastically increase your range and make this weapon super competitive in PvP. In fact, top tier in PvP. And lastly, we have Reactive Reload, giving you a damage bonus every time you reload. So this roll really has it all. Rifled Barrel is, again, the main thing you're looking for, but it does decrease your reload. Outlaw completely solves this by making your reload lightning fast as long as you're able to get a headshot kill, which isn't too difficult with the Palindrome, and then you get a damage bonus every time you reload. Because of Outlaw, you're going to be able to essentially keep up the reactive reload damage bonus constantly, like as long as you're getting kills. And in fact, that makes this gun actually really good in PvE. Like this roll, although you are mostly looking for explosive rounds for PvE hand cannons, this roll is no joke because it's so easy to trigger Outlaw in PvE. Just headshot a thrall and enjoy your few seconds of reactive reload, which in that time you'll absolutely end up getting another headshot. Very powerful stuff here. Now moving on to the Vanguard Quartermaster, we have some more very powerful rolls. Firstly, with the Teacup Tempest. This sidearm actually has an extremely competitive roll. Firstly, Zen Moment and Feeding Frenzy, both decent perks. Mainly next, we have Casket Mag. Casket Mag is surprisingly good with sidearms, and especially now, considering that you only spawn with one magazine's worth of ammo. In PvP, you might as well make that magazine as big as possible. And after that, we have Rangefinder rounding things off. Great with sidearms. You want as much range as possible. So, like Zen Moment, Casket Mag, Rangefinder, or even Feeding Frenzy, Casket Mag, Rangefinder, that's a pretty solid roll on the Teacup Tempest. Next up, we have the Angel's Advocate. This scout rifle belongs to a very powerful damage archetype, the Mida Multitool archetype, killing in 4 shots but shooting faster than other scouts that also kill in 4 shots. And there's a pretty decent roll this week. Zen Moment, increasing your stability the more shots you get on an enemy, is decent. Hammerforge is not really what you're looking for, but Braced Frame is exactly what you're looking for. Massively increasing the stability and making this gun so consistent in gunfights. And rounding everything off, we have Third Eye. Nothing incredible about Third Eye, but overall a pretty decent perk. Braced Frame is really what you're looking for on the Angel's Advocate, and the fact that it has all around decent perks otherwise makes this a pretty powerful roll this week. And lastly, speaking of brace frame, we have the Parthian Shot Pulse Rifle. This belongs to another very rare damage archetype, the slow shooting pulse rifles. Firstly, we have Outlaw and Partial Refund. Both are decent, but then we have Braced Frame again, massively increasing that stability. And rounding everything off, we have Rangefinder. So overall, very solid roll. I would say that Headseeker is much better than Rangefinder, and Brace Frame and Headseeker are basically the god roll. But this is pretty damn close, and if you want to try out these slow shooting pulse rifles, it's a really low chance to get a roll as good as this. So if you want to try this out, this is definitely the time to buy this Parthian shot, because if you like it, then you can start going for that god roll and be very competitive with it. So now, let's move along to the faction vendors, starting with Dead Orbit, and we actually have a pretty powerful sniper rifle roll with the Bitter Edge 010. The Bitter Edge is a very powerful sniper rifle. Although it does belong to the lower damage archetype, it has one of the highest aim assists in the entire game. Like, it is right up there top tier. I think it's the second highest aim assist out of any sniper rifle in Destiny. So definitely respect this thing. And starting it off, we have a very good sight, the Longview SLR-10. Low zoom and adds even more aim assist. After that, we have two decent perks. High caliber rounds is decent and lightweight is decent as well. Next up, we have life support, which is actually not bad with sniper rifles. Small bore, probably not what you're looking for, but rounding it all off, we have hidden hand, increasing the aim assist even more. So the sight and hidden hand is going to make this thing like near 100 points of aim assist, and I'm not even joking. Like, that's how high of an aim assist you will have with this gun. It is absurd. Definitely check this thing out. Now moving on from there, we have a pretty damn good PvE scout rifle roll with the Keystone 01. We have extended mag and snapshot. Extended mag, probably what you're wanting here. Next up, we have triple tap, making this thing's magazine increase pretty substantially, letting you get that constant damage on an enemy boss, for example. And then rounding it all off, we have Firefly. And Firefly with a high damage scout rifle like the Keystone is going to come up quite a bit, and it's going to be very powerful in PvE. So we have several really good PvE perks: extended mag, triple tap, and Firefly. I wish the stability was better, but this is still a very solid roll that you should definitely check out. And rounding things off, we have a pretty darn good roll on the Unto Dust rocket launcher. Hard launch, pretty drastically increasing the velocity, one of the best launches you can get. And then we have flared magwell and lightweight, both of which are okay. But then we have tripod, excellent perk. And if for whatever reason you don't want tripod, you also have the choice of javelin, another very good rocket launcher perk. And rounding everything off, we have grenades and horseshoes, making it so that you don't actually have to hit your target. You can shoot it right past them. As long as it's close enough, it'll still explode. Grenades and horseshoes, javelin, and tripod, those are three of the best rocket launcher perks you can get, and they're all present on this roll, so definitely check out the Unto Dust. However, the native blast radius and velocity are not great on this weapon, so keep that in mind. And moving things along, we have the Future War Cult vendor. Starting us off, we have yet another rocket launcher, because this week's Warpath roll is quite good. We have some decent launches, then we have Flared Magwell and Quick Draw, both okay. Most importantly, we have Javelin, increasing the velocity to a much needed amount. The Warpath has an insane blast radius, but not the best velocity, so Javelin's really going to help there. And rounding everything off, we have Tracking, a very powerful, one of the best, arguably the best rocket launcher perk. So definitely check out this Warpath. After that, we have a pretty solid roll on this week's Wounded. We have some decent sights, but most importantly, we have full auto. This is super good, my favorite overall perk on scout rifles, making them incredibly consistent and ensuring you're getting those maximum time to kills. After that, we have small bore, increasing the stability an okay amount and the range as well. It does lower the magazine, so if you're okay with the starting stability, you can definitely use Outlaw, which is very powerful as well. And rounding things off, we have Hidden Hand, increasing the aim assist. So overall, just solid roll. Definitely not a god roll, but if you need a good scout rifle, this is definitely an option. And lastly, we have a surprisingly decent PvE hand cannon roll with the Whale. Firstly, explosive rounds. Again, probably the main perk you're looking for when you're looking for a PvE hand cannon. After that, unfortunately, we don't have a range bonus. I wish we did. It would be perfect if we did, but perfect balance, increasing the stability, is just going to make this gun, decent, better at getting those follow-up shots. And lastly, Firefly. Really, the reason I'm recommending to take a look at it is because the combination of Firefly and explosive rounds in PvE, a place where you don't need max range, you're going to be able to, stay close quarters a decent amount with the whale. That is seriously deadly. Those are the two best perks pretty much for PvE hand cannons, so definitely check this out. Now, moving on to New Monarchy, we actually have some pretty good rolls this week, which definitely makes up for the literally one good roll for the last several weeks. Firstly, we have a decent roll on the Deposition Sniper Rifle. We have a good sight with the Ambush Scope. Then we have high cal rounds, which is okay, but Snapshot, making you aim down sights faster, that's really good. Then we have Triple Tap. That's also really good. And lastly, we have Firefly. That's also really good. In PvP, this probably isn't the best roll, but this is a very solid PvE roll. Firefly lets you take down a bunch of ads at once, and Triple Tap makes this thing basically have a 5-round magazine every time you're damaging a boss, because you can just consistently get those headshots over and over again. Now, moving on from there, we have a very powerful, I would arguably say god roll on the Impeacher sidearm. Firstly, we have Sure Shot and True Shot, the best sights you're looking for. Then we have high caliber rounds, so good on sidearms, letting you win those close range engagements so much more often. And then we have hand loaded, increasing the range, which is exactly what you want with sidearms. And then we have Rangefinder, which again is going to do that same thing. So you have Rangefinder, hand loaded, and you have high caliber rounds. 3 of the best perks you're looking for, all on one sidearm roll that you can use all at the same time as well. That's insane. This is a seriously deadly roll. And lastly, to round things out, we have a perfectly slightly above average assembly. Flared Magwell and Quick Draw are both decent. Perfect Balance is going to increase the stability by a much needed margin, and lastly, Counterbalance makes the recoil basically all vertical, which makes it a lot easier to control. If you like these fast firing auto rifles and you don't have a good one, the assembly this week is going to fulfill that role, but quite frankly, this definitely isn't amazing. And so guys, that's it for this week's best vendor rolls. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, again, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny content and don't want to miss out on next week's episode of Best Vendor Rolls, be sure to slap that subscribe button. But if you actually want to be notified of uploads, you're going to have to press the bell beside subscribe. Now, if you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That's linked in the description down below, as is my Twitch channel, which you can also follow. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.